Working with Yeti. Hope you all are having a great day. I'm here at Brownsburg this weekend, our terminal near Indianapolis. I got service this weekend, so we're here hanging out. Decided to know how to make a video for you guys. I'm actually going to be interviewing 3 drivers from Florida. I've been getting a lot of messages and some comments on my videos already about what it's like from Florida. So I'm going to let you guys see from the eyes of other drivers and get their ideas. I got a runner, I got a trainer, and a guy who goes home every weekend. So you guys get to hear a little bit from each. So we'll have a couple minutes interview for each guy, and we'll see what's going on. But first of all, I want to give you guys a little bit of pointers about driving, being a TMC driver from Florida. A little bit about me. Again, I've been with TMC for almost 3 years. I've been training for about 2 of that. I live in Central Florida near Daytona Beach. There are hiring cutoffs in Florida. So just south of Orlando, they try to, it depends on experience and stuff. They have taken some guys from Tampa and they have not. So it just depends the time of year. I want to say winter time, they might cut off a little bit on when they're going to hire, where they're going to hire guys from. But we do have a lot of area in Florida where we hire. So pretty much from the cutoff of I-4 and 75 in Tampa all the way up, is the hiring area for Florida. Now keep in mind, just because you might not be in that hiring area, send an application and find out. You can always, there might be, like I said, there could be a way to get in, but just know, if the further south you are, there is a requirement of staying out every other weekend. So you would have to stay out for every other weekend. Depending, there are some drivers who do get home every weekend. You're here for a while, you could start training, and you could go home every weekend. So we went about the hiring area in Florida. There are actually some dedicated accounts in Florida, especially down in South Florida. So any of those guys who want to be home every weekend or most nights, we have a couple dedicated accounts. Our Home Depot account down in Apollo Beach. That's actually, they just moved. It is now in Apollo Beach. And then we also have our Lowe's account in Frostproof, Florida. They're great accounts. It just they requires a little bit more work. You are tarping, untarping every day, more than one load. But for those guys who want to be home every night or most nights or every weekend, those are options. Now they are pretty popular in Florida, so there sometimes is a wait list. So if that is your goal, start off at OTR and then move yourself over. Get yourself on the wait list. Don't, just because it's not available right away, don't shy away from coming to TMC, because there could be an opportunity for you sooner than later. Now I'm going to interview myself a little bit real quick before I interview my buddies. So I started out running hard, a lot like one of my buddies, Jacob, that you're going to get to hear from. I ran a month, 2 months out at a time. It was very successful. This was I did have a girlfriend, but she was okay with it at the time. And I stayed out, and I raised my percentage up to 32% at my first snapshot. So your first 13-week average, when all your numbers come together, I hit 32% right away. I was averaging 55 to 57 to the truck solo, but I didn't go home. But I did, so that was something I was able to work out with. After about 8-9 months, I became a trainer. I came over experience. As I told you all in my first video, I had some experience already, so I decided to make the jump, become a trainer. Started training, still ran, came home. I was probably doing every other weekend. Average went up to about 6,000, 6,500. This year, or 2021, got with my fiance, we had a baby, and I started going home a lot. I was going home every weekend. As a trainer, I saw really good money still. As a solo guy, there were some weeks where I didn't train just because of what I had going on at home. I did really well as well. Finished the year off. With being a funky year, I finished off at 88,000 this year. So, a lot of people want to know what we make yearly. That's what I make. I don't mind telling you guys, and I have the pay stub to show it to you if you really want to know. 88,000 this year, and it was a rough year. I switched different divisions. I went to boat division. I switched on and off from training, and I took a lot of time off because of my fiance having a baby. So, that's a little bit about how my experience is. Let's get into my buddies and see what their experiences are. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe at the end of this video. I'm here with my buddy Jacob. He's been with TMC for a little bit. We're going to interview him. He's from Florida. How you doing, Jacob?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Good deal. Good deal. So tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from in Florida, and how long you've been driving with TMC.
I'm from Lake City, Florida. I've been driving for TMC for 2 years and about 2 months. I have no complaints.
No complaints? You're making good money?
Oh yeah, very well.
And what's your success in making money? What's your percentage at? What's your average?
I usually stay around 32, 33%. My rolling average usually stays between 58 to like 6,200. I usually do a month out, come back home for a weekend, occasionally get a Thursday off or something for staying out, and then I go right back to it. If the money's paying really well, I'll stay out longer.
Do you have any ideas or tips or tricks for any of these new guys from Florida coming in that you can offer off to any of these guys getting started out who want to make money? Or
build a connection with your fleet manager is the main thing. Tell him what you want to do, where you want to run, what you want to make. Otherwise, they're just going to send you out, and if you're not going to speak with them or tell them how you're feeling, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. So if you don't like it, speak up.
Is there anything that you also suggest, running wise? You stay out a month at a time. Do you, I know that's probably not for everybody, but if you want to get your money up and your percentage up, that's probably something you'd recommend doing to these newer drivers.
Definitely pack some food with you. I do have a bigger fridge with me and everything, so food's a big thing. Just be ready to run.
So you're a runner. Your home life staying out, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and how does
that? No wife.
Okay, so that's a big thing that we've talked about. If any of you seen my video of Axel, depending on how things go, being single or having family, that support system. He doesn't have any. He's got family, but he doesn't have a girlfriend or kids or anything, so he has a little more freedom opposed to some guys who might not. What about family time? Do you still make time even though you're running, to get home and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, like I was saying earlier, I usually do like a month, and my fleet manager's really good about giving me like a Thursday or a Monday a little extra home time. And if I stay out longer, 2-3 months, sometimes they'll give me 4 or 5 days, maybe even a whole week. It works out. I just plan on when to do those, like around 4th of July, holidays, birthdays. I plan those out.
Keep in mind that always doesn't happen, so don't just because he can get off, you got to make sure you let your fleet manager know ahead of time. It's not always going to happen. There's been some times. It
definitely has to get approved.
Definitely has to get approved. There's been times where he's wanted to get home and he's not been able to get home. He wanted to get home on Thursday. He ended up getting home on Friday. It happens. So Jacob, tell us a little bit about the opportunities you have as a driver who likes to stay out, money-wise. You had some great opportunities this year, and you made just south of 100K. Go into a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, I did very well for a solo driver this year. You do get a lot of opportunities staying out. This year, my thing is I'm going to stay out and tell my fleet manager, hey, when you've got a good load that's taking me home, we going home. Other than that, I'm pretty much going to stay out except for birthdays, holidays, all that. You do get a lot of opportunities though, staying out. You're not restricted on having to come home or anything like that. A lot of times I can tell them, hey, I want to go here for the weekend or something. If the freight's looking real well over there, if I want to go see a buddy or something, go out and stay with them. The opportunities are endless when you stay out.
You were on a pretty big account this year that you got an opportunity. They offered it to you to stay out. That was pretty successful for you.
Oh yeah. I got the opportunity to run loads from California to Idaho Falls this year. I was out there for just under 3 months. I was like a week short of 3 months out there. It was a great run. I was doing anywhere from minimum of like 65 to 8,600 to the truck while I was out there. It was a blast.
That's impressive. That's awesome. This is Jacob. He's a very hard runner, a good friend of mine. I appreciate you. Thank you. And look forward to hearing from you and seeing how well you're going to do.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Got another Florida driver here, Kevin. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Just here at the terminal this weekend, getting services done, and I live up in the Pensacola, northwest Florida area. Been a trainer since April, so haven't been training very long. Been here about 1.5 years, and working on my 9th guy right now. and I go home every weekend except for when I'm here for services.
Now, when we've talked before, and you've told me, like you just said, you go home every weekend, even when you were solo, and you were very successful being from the Pensacola area. I actually have a couple of viewers who have already reached out to me about living up in that area. What can they look forward to? What type of things do they look for? Loads? What kind of tips can you give those guys in that area to be successful?
If you want to go home every weekend, you got to get out of Florida. I mean, the Florida freight's not that great, so what I do is I have my fleet manager send me as far away as possible from Florida, and I'll run around everywhere, and then by Thursday, he's working me way back home. My weekend loads usually aren't that great because I'm usually landing in Florida on Friday, unless I get that, one lucky load.
Wow.
But other than that, I mean, solo, I was doing 48 to 5,000. I mean, and going home every weekend for Florida, that's not too bad.
And that was at 32%?
I've been at 32% since the second month I've been in my own truck. So.
Nice. Now, you decided to make the jump. You were doing very well as a solo driver, and you decided to make the jump as a trainer. What made you decide to do that, even though you were getting home still and you were making that money?
Well, I was talking to my trainer. One big thing is you get a little bit more home time being a trainer.
Right.
Instead of getting home late on Friday and have to leave early on Sunday. Barely getting your 34 in. I'm usually guaranteed at least 48 hours at home. Family's one thing that is about this job that I take seriously. Family comes first over job. So, and that was the one thing my wife and I talked about was when I got into this job that I would come home regularly. And I've made that a religion, unless I'm here for services, I'm at home.
So that's the difference between Jacob and Kevin. Jacob doesn't have a family or anything at home other than his regular family, but doesn't have a girlfriend or kids or nothing. Kevin has a wife and he has kids, so he likes to go home every weekend. He's still successful. So you see a runner who stays out and is successful, and you also see somebody who started out as solo, was very successful, and became a trainer for that extra home time. Glad it's working out for you. Any tips or tricks or anything that you have for these new guys coming into TMC from Florida, maybe Georgia? I know you see from there, you see Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, right now my trainee is from Alabama, and just soak up as much as you can, from your trainer. Make sure you absorb everything you can and learn every day. I had one trainee that at the end of the day he would write in his notes on his phone everything that he learned from that day. That way he could reference back.
Yeah. Nice. And I do want to clarify something that you said earlier in the interview. Now you said you make $4,000 to $5,000. That is to the truck, correct?
Yeah, to the truck.
Okay.
So solo, I was doing 4,800 to 5,000 to the truck. And at 32%, that's about $1,500 gross or whatever, $1,600 gross.
And how about training now?
Training?
You said you're top of your board right now.
I
Congratulations.
was, yeah. On my fleet manager's board, I've been number one off and on for ever since I started training. When I got my first trainee, we ran hard, and I made it to the top of his board, and I was been at top of his board for a while. I usually stay around the 5,500 to 6,000 to the truck range, which that's right around
damn good.
Yeah, that's right around $2,000 gross a
Definitely.
week. So
Good deal.
But yeah, I can't complain. I love this job, and it's not for everybody, obviously. But if you love doing the touring around the world or the states, it's great to see the country around.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate your time, Kevin.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
Anytime.
Be safe out there, and we'll catch up with you down the road.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Casey? How are you?
Blake,
I
man.
just want to let you guys know this is actually one of my trainees. Had him for 2 weeks. He was an experienced guy. He's doing really well. He is. Where are you from, Casey?
I'm out of North Central Florida. I live in Gainesville area. I've been driving trucks, heavy trucks, since 2018. I started driving semi-tractor trailers in 2019 and came here to TMC exactly a year ago, January 8th.
Congratulations on the year. Yesterday was his year date.
Yes, sir.
So, he was a great trainee. It was an honor to have him in my truck. We had a great time. He was an experienced guy, so any of you guys experienced, you won't have to be in a truck for 4 to 5 weeks. It could be 2 to 3 or 1 to 3. You're doing pretty well, aren't you? A year in, doing really well. You started out running.
Yeah.
And then you had a baby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I just want to give a little bit of ideas of how you started out and what it was like running. You never really went home, and then you came, you had the baby, and then you went home every weekend.
Yes.
So, how was that staying out all the time? How was the money? What kind of experiences did you have?
So when I first started out, I think I went home 2 weekends, and then from then until June, for about 6 months, I ran 3 weeks at a time, 2 weekends out. And being from Florida, that was a real boost for me. I saw a lot better money than I do coming home every weekend. So I was seeing more in the mid 5s in my average for the weeks to the truck. Sometimes getting up towards 6, and I've stayed out and done close to 7 as a solo driver, 7,000 to my truck. Transitioning after my son was born, I started going home more, and of course, I still do fine. I'm comfortable with the money that I make. My rolling average right now is right around 4,800, which is between 1,300 and 1,500 a week to me, gross to my check. So still making pretty decent money going home every weekend, and I'm happy.
And you're enjoying that family time, which is
Yes.
important. So
That's
any
a
of you
big
guys
deal.
who have, family at home, he has a newborn, it can work. You could just have to have the communication with your family, with your spouse, and stuff like that. So it can work. Now that you've been here for a year, what do you see for the future? What are your plans? I know you have a plan in place right now, but you let everybody know what you're thinking.
So the real goal at the end game of all this, we're still in kind of trial phases. Obviously, we're making sure things are working for my family. The next step for me, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to go take the course to become a trainer, and I will start training in April after I've completed a full winter, because the last winter I didn't count because I wasn't all the way through. So after this full winter season is done, I'll start training in April, and we're going to see how that goes. Pretty excited for that challenge. That's very exciting. End game for me would be to hopefully down the road be an owner-operator. I'd really like to be independent, and not necessarily independent of TMC, but I would like to be an owner-operator with TMC.
Nice. Well, that's definitely some big goals, and look forward to seeing you out there with your trainees. What I instilled in you, you're going to turn around and instill in everybody else,
Yes,
which is
sir.
awesome. My first trainee becoming a trainer, which is awesome. That's a big step. That asks a lot. Not a lot of people want to be a trainer because it takes a lot. You saw the video of me and Axel. If you guys haven't done, I'll make sure I post the description the link to that video. We go into what we go through as a trainer and things to expect. But do you have any advice, tips, tricks, or anything you can give to these guys, especially coming into TMC?
Absolutely. So we've heard some guys on this video talking about, they're top notch and they run really hard and work really hard. Trucking is the epitome of you reap what you sow. It's all about what you're comfortable getting out of it from what you put into it. You're going to receive as much money as you work hard. Again, the epitome of you reap what you sow. So trucking is different for everybody. Everyone wants different things out of trucking. If you're comfortable with what you're getting, continue doing whatever you're doing, how you're doing it. That's the biggest thing I can say. You're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work as hard as you want to be rewarded. That's about as simple as I can put it.
Good deal. Well, I appreciate your time, Casey. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
It was good to see you. Glad we got to hang out at the terminal this weekend, and best of luck to you with your trainees.
Appreciate you, brother.
Call me if you need me.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you. What's up, Axel?
What's up, man?
Hey, man. I just want to give a shout out to my homie Axel. Look at him over here, trying to be over here. I just want to give a shout out. I appreciate everything and your guidance and everything, man. And I just want to say thank you and let everybody know.
It's not a problem. We're here to help each other. I try to help anybody out. Guys that are starting with a YouTube channel, I help them out. We're all a family here. That's the important thing, to be a family. And all of us to get along. So
Again, I appreciate everything and look forward to what you and I have, in the future. And I'll make sure to send whoever comes and sues me to you, and I'm sure we can do the same. So I appreciate that. I've already getting some people from your channel coming over to me. So we're rocking and rolling, and I appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now we also gonna have a fishing trip, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go down to Florida and have a fishing trip.
Yeah.
But he's gonna come visit me in Florida.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Florida and we gotta find a boat or something. We're gonna make this, man. We're gonna make some good video right there, some good shots.
Be great.
Be awesome.
10-4, guys. Well, I appreciate it. This is Trucking with Yeti. This is trucker Axel Munoz, and we're out.